High risk, high reward. That's the nature of starting. Half a boat length over the line and you'll risk getting disqualified. Half a boat length back and you'll find yourself struggling at the back of the fleet for the rest of the race. But if you get the start just right, you'll be playing the rest of the race on easy mode. These are the thoughts that are subconsciously going through our heads on the start line. We all know how important it is to get a good start, but most of us struggle. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan, and in this video, we're breaking down a skill which separates the good sailors from the great sailors, and that's your start line mindset. In my YouTube videos, we've broken down all the technical skills you need to be a great starter. We've talked about acceleration, timing, and drills you can do to improve. But there's something much more fundamental which holds most sailors back on the start line. It's not your timing, it's not your boat handling, it's what's going on in your head during the start sequence. Throughout my career, I noticed two critical mindset barriers which consistently held me and many other sailors back on the start line. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to overcome both and give you practical tips you can use to actively shift your starting mindset. Let's talk about risk aversion first. Being risk averse is human nature. Our brains are wired to avoid danger and play it safe. But on the start line, playing it safe means mediocre starts and mediocre results. Risk aversion usually shows up in two different ways. First, sailors hang back from the line, putting themselves in the second row and playing catch up for the rest of the race. This is something that I went through when I first started competing internationally. I was so scared of getting an OCS after spending all the time, effort, and money to get to a big event that I would hold back on the line and consistently find myself in the middle of the fleet. Second, risk-averse sailors tend to avoid the ends of the line, even when there's a clear advantage. Both of these are going to make it really hard to get a good result unless you have a clear boat speed advantage over everyone else. If you're not pushing the start line aggressively, here's what I'd suggest you do. Pick a low-stakes regatta where results don't matter. Your only goal? Start ahead of everyone around you in every race. If you get an OCS or a BFD, who cares? What you'll discover is pretty interesting. There'll be a lot of times where you feel like you're over the start line, but you actually won't. You need to calibrate the internal feeling of being close to the start line, and this exercise helps you practice being close to the start line, knowing what that feels like in a setting where the results don't matter. In any start, aim to position yourself just 1 meter ahead of the boats either side of you. Not 5 meters, not 10 meters, just 1 meter. This small advantage will make a huge impact on your starts and the rest of the race. And also taking this small advantage over the boats either side of you won't leave you feeling like you're exposing yourself to the race committee, but it will give you that head start you need to consistently get a great start to the race. And just remember, the start line rewards the brave. No one ever won a major regatta by playing it safe on the start line. Now let's tackle the second mindset barrier, confidence. Lack of confidence on the start line reveals itself when a sailor won't fight for their space or defend their gap. I see it all the time, especially when sailors feel intimidated by someone who they consider to be better than themselves. That's something I also went through when I first started training with the Australian sailing team guys. I was so scared to get into a confrontation that I held back on the start line and didn't fight for a space on the line. The truth is, you have exactly the same right as anyone else to that spot on the line, regardless of their results. Here's the 3 things I did to overcome my fear. First, practice your pre-start boat handling until it's bulletproof. If you can maneuver out of any situation, it's going to be a lot harder for someone to push you around on the start line. And if you want a good drill to practice this, I mentioned one in a recent video I made, which I'm going to link here. Secondly, the conversation in your head really matters. When we're going into tight situations, some people have thoughts like, I don't want to ruin my start, running through their head. You should practice shifting those and replacing them with thoughts like, I can get a good start no matter what. And one thing you can do, which I haven't done personally, but I've seen other sailors do, is they take a piece of duct tape, write those thoughts that they want to have on it, and then tape it somewhere on the boat where you can see during a race or during the start, like on your boom or on the deck next to where you sit during the start sequence. Finally, just get in there and do it. Similar to pushing the start line, a lot of your confidence is going to be built up just by doing the thing. So the next time you're questioning starting in a certain place, just go for it and see how it works out. If you get a bad start, don't worry, just learn from it and try again next time. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, it's that a lot of the growth is going to happen outside of your comfort zone. Unfortunately, there's no magic pill or secret that I can give you that will let you skip that. So if you're struggling with your starting and think your mindset might be the issue, remember the 5 things you can do to try and fix your pre-start mindset. First, practice being over the start line to calibrate your internal gauge. Second, start 1 meter ahead of the boats either side of you. Third, master your pre-start boat handling. Fourth, change your self-talk. And fifth, practice controlled aggression. And if you enjoyed this video, I release many more videos similar to this on my paid Substack. So click the link here or in the description box to go over there and become a paid subscriber. A lot of those videos will be exclusive to paid subscribers, so you can only get them as a paid sub. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.